Hello and welcome to another South Downs National Park virtual walk on Facebook Live. I'm Angela Ward, I'm a ranger for the South Downs National Park in the Wilden Heaths area, and today I will be taking you on a section of the Cowdray Ancient Tree walk. Today I have with me Harry as my walking companion. He's on a lead today. I'm hands-free, so he's on a lead, harness lead. Well done, Harry. And if I show you a map of the Ancient Tree Walk, you can see here it runs from North Street Car Park in the middle of Midhurst, or from the Cowdray Farm Shop and Cafe, and then round and finishes up at the North Street Car Park. So you can park at either and do the whole walk. Today we're going to start here, just after number 7 at Vining Farm, and we're going to be walking down to Benbow Pond, which is there. It's only a short section. I had to pick the one with the best phone reception, so that's the reason for this today. And also the length will be here for about half an hour, 45 minutes. Fortunately it stopped raining, and we're starting here at this ancient twin-stemmed ash tree. I'm hoping that the sun will bring out some of the colours now. We haven't seen a lot of autumn colours yet because the weather's been so mild. I'd like to come up here and show you the views. The sun's come out, we shouldn't complain, but we might not be able to see. To hear me a bit better. So welcome to you that have just joined. As I said, we're just going to do part of the Ancient Tree Walk on the Cowdray Estate. Here you can see lovely view over towards the Trundle and the chalk escarpment of the South Downs. It's a great view along here. Carry along the route. This is part of an ancient trackway that we're going along at the moment. An ancient trackway, or an ancient sunken lane, as you might know them. It could have been used for a drover's route, maybe to take cattle and sheep and other animals, maybe from one field to another, or maybe to markets, but also they use them at this time of year particularly, sometimes to drive them along here, so they would eat all the acorns, the beech masts, and fatten up their livestock. Maria has asked, are there any cycling races in the park? Unfortunately, I'm sorry, I don't understand the question. Well, there's no cycle races where I am at the moment, but perhaps you could talk about a specific thing that you're asking about, or a specific area. That would be helpful. Let me know if it's a bit windy. So we've got some lovely oak tree here. I talked about ancient and veteran trees. Oh, what I didn't say was the map that I showed you at the beginning. I'll show you again, of this ancient tree walk that we're going to do, doing part of. You can access this on View Ranger. It's an app for your phone that you can track while you're out and follow routes. So you can either make them up yourself and save them and share them with other people, or you can follow a route on your phone that somebody else has made, and South Downs National Park has put routes on there as well. But you can also access it on your desktop at home, so you can log in there and you can find your routes, and if you don't have the right phone you can print the map off and follow it that way as well. So it's not just for someone with a smartphone, although you obviously need a computer at home. Right, so I was talking about ancient and veteran trees. We're here on this part of the Cowdray Ancient Tree walk. If you go to the Woodland Trust website, you'll be able to see all the ancient and veteran trees on the maps that are near you. It gives you some really good information about it as well. Each one tells you what they are, how old they are, how big they are, and their special interests. Some of them we'll see here today. An ancient tree is the oldest designation, which is older than a veteran tree. Now, an ancient tree is in the third and final stage of its life, which means that in the third stage of life it's adult and it's also stopped producing seeds and fruit for reproduction, and it's in the final stages of its life. But that doesn't mean that it's not going to live for very long. It could live for hundreds more years at that stage. Each species has a different age that makes it an ancient tree, but that's not the only qualification for an ancient tree's age. You'll see signs of it, of the canopy reducing in size. There'll be burrs and fissures on the bark. The trunk is very wide, and it could be hollowing inside. You sometimes see trees that are circular with like a cylindrical with a hollow right inside it. And each species has a different age, so like a birch tree might be older, 150 years, but a yew tree won't be classed as old till it's about 800 years old or 500 years old. See if I can get this magnificent oak. Mind you, we're into the sun here. Joel says it feels like I'm taking your dog for a walk. Is that good or bad? And Maria wants some for a pedestrian practice. Is that on a bike? I would say go online, look at a map, and you can look at the West Sussex County Council iMap, and it shows you where all the bridle ways are, so that's where you can cycle. I don't know if you can hear me, it's got windy now. You can cycle, you can't cycle up footpaths, but you can cycle on bridle ways. Or you might have that if you look at the key, it will tell you which ones are bridle ways and which ones are footpaths. down this ancient track, which I think is funneling the wind now. I'd planned it so it was going to be behind us. This lovely coppice hazel that we've got here. Now coppicing means basically it's just been cut near to the ground and then it regrows in many different stems. So you can see that happening here and how it's clinging on to the side of the bank of the sunken rootway. That's pretty amazing. Not many colours on this section. I think that's because it's been so warm that the trees are still hanging on. Got an amazing, it's almost an avenue of oak down here. And more of those lovely views over to the chalk downland. Oh, it's lovely that the sun's come out today. Appreciate how lucky we are here. We'll carry on down our sunken rootway. I think maybe we'll shelter the wind down here. Along this route as well that you want to look out for, and a bit further back is an ancient field maple, which has an extraordinary girth for a field maple of 3.5 metres. It only needs to be 2.5 metres to be an ancient tree. Ancient trees support a lot of species. They're great for biodiversity. Not only you've got things like bats living in them, you've got invertebrates, mammals, lichens on them, birds are using them, and some trees can support up to or over 300 different varieties of insect species, or just all species. So that's why we class them as special, and there aren't so many of them around at the moment. When we used more trees for shipbuilding and things like that, a lot of the older trees, the larger trees, disappeared unfortunately and weren't preserved. But today we know how special they are. Now, veteran trees, I was talking about ancient trees being in the third stage of their life. Veteran trees are a bit younger. They're classed in the second stage of their adult life. So they're adult trees, but they have some ancient tree characteristics about them. So they might have the fissures in them, they might be particularly large, they might have erosion and hollowing, or they might have some reduction in canopy. So all those sorts of things can go towards them. But being in the second stage of their life, it means that they're still producing seed or fruit. For instance, acorns in the oak, beech masts for the beech, and hazelnuts for hazel. But they're still special, and obviously they have the potential later on in the third stage of their adult life to become ancient trees as well, and support a whole variety of species. Now, I love this bit of the sunken lane. It really feels like you're part of the history of the lane. You can imagine the old farmers driving their sheep down here, eating the acorns, fattening up the pigs, or going to market. Don't want to miss out any of these lovely trees. If anyone has any questions, please ask. Maria asked about bridleways or cycling. As you can see here, there's finger posts telling you which paths are public access. So the blue here, if it was a footpath, it would be yellow. So that helps you know what you can do on there. So you can cycle on there, but you can't cycle on the yellow footpath. And carry on down this way. Another superb oak here, beautiful against the blue sky. Can you still hear me? Because apparently I'm losing signal. As in, oh, thank you for the thumbs up. If you missed anything I was talking about, please let me know and I'll repeat it. Now we're in the sun. I'll see if I can shade the sun out. It's only a short section into the sun. Okay, we're going right here, Harry. Unfortunately, the wind has taken a branch down. That makes it a little bit difficult. Our next tree we're looking out for is a Dunklet Oak, which is also English oak. You may know it as. That's one we need to come across to have a look at. This one has got a 6.5 metre girth. Even the bracken looks good in the sun this time of year. It's rusty colours. One oak that I went to look at that I wanted to show you today, but we don't have enough signal, is the Queen Elizabeth Oak, which is the oldest tree on the Cowdray estate as far as I know. It's reported to be between 800 and 1,000 years old. No one quite knows exactly. And it's got 3 accolades. It's a heritage tree, which means it's very old, older than your average ancient tree. It's a champion tree as well. It's the 3rd largest in the country, so it has a girth of 13.13 metres. So if you look at the one we're going to look, it's twice as big, more than twice as big as the one we're going to look at in a minute. So imagine that. So it is actually accessible on Cowdray land, so you are able to go and view it yourselves. If you do this ancient tree walk, you can add a little bit onto that. And it's the 3rd accolade. It's as a tree of national scientific interest, and it's called the Queen Elizabeth Oak because apparently Queen Elizabeth I came to visit it. When was that? Somewhere like 1591, I think it was. Now, have we missed this big one, big oak? Can't see it. That one, that big one there is a chestnut. You can see the colours, if the sun was on it, there's a little bit of colour at the top. Colours are changing on the sweet chestnut. And if you go down to on the ancient tree walk, just across the 272 from the Cowdray Farm shop, there's an avenue of veteran sweet chestnut trees which are on the Ancient Tree Walk, and hopefully they'll give us some spectacular colour. Best to go on a bright sunny day. So here we're coming up to this oak tree. I shall turn the camera around in a minute so you can actually see something. So this one here, you can see this is a 6.5 metre girth oak. Can you see that? And you can see all the fissures point there and there, and the holes. These are the things that also make an ancient tree, and they're amazing. You can see there's bracket fungi in there, all sorts of insects and creatures living in there. You might get barn owls in there, tawny owls. And this one is 6.5 metre girth. Thank you for the heart to that one, someone's lovely tree. And Queen Elizabeth oak is twice the size of that. You can see the reduced, obviously, you can see the reduced height. Now here, we're not walking down here. This goes down, if you can hear me, this goes down to the Queen Elizabeth oak. I'll shade that a bit from the sun. Now there's an avenue of lime trees, and they were planted in commemoration of Queen Elizabeth II Jubilee. You can see with the wooden deer protection around. So if you walk down between the avenue of those, then the Queen Elizabeth oak is on your right. And here it is commemoration of the planting of the avenue of lime trees, 2012. Okay. I'm hoping it's not going to be too windy. Try and shade the wind a bit from the microphone. See the view from here across the downs. I hope you can see them. They're really good all the way round. You can see here the avenue of trees and some more ancient and veteran trees in the parkland. This is an old deer park that dates back. I'm not quite sure how far it dates back. I think it's medieval, if I'm right. And the whole walk is about 6 miles, I think. So we're only doing a fraction of it today. There's lots more lovely trees. As I say, I chose this route because it had the best signal. I hope you're all still receiving me. also see over there, I think you can see over there, in the top of the tree in the middle, there's all the mistletoe that you see this time of year. That's a good indicator of air quality. It is parasitic, but most trees tend to survive okay. We're on the home straight now to towards Bembo Pond. Hopefully you can see. I know that the sun is there, but over there you can see all the different colours of the trees. Shade it from the sun a bit. And there's an old arboretum on the Cowdray estate there. Most of it doesn't have public access on it, but you can see a lot of it through the rights of way network that runs along this line here. But again, that signal to be able to show you it. And there's a lot more veteran and ancient trees there as well. So over there I think we've got all sorts of non-natives as well. Spectacular red oak, which is looking good at the moment. And a lot of unusual conifers as well. The tree a bit better now with all the mistletoe on. Oh, and there in the background some more is the Queen Elizabeth Oak. Now I can show you my finger there. I hope you can see that. I know it's quite small from this distance. So as I said, that Queen Elizabeth Oak is the third largest in the country. And it's between 800 and was visited by Queen Elizabeth I in 1591. Well, that was the report. I don't think there's any concrete evidence to that. Another magnificent oak tree here. This isn't on the... It doesn't have to be to appreciate it. And now we're coming down to our final veteran tree on this walk, which is a black poplar. If you want to have a look and have some more information about veteran and ancient trees and where they are in your area and more information about them, go to the Woodland Trust website and they have all the information you need there. Now this is the ancient deer park that I was talking about, medieval I think. Here we are down at Bembo Pond. Just coming up to the ancient black poplar. Poplar. This one has 3.5 metre girth. And as you can see, this is what I mean about the reduced crown in the tree. I mean, it looks like it's nearly at the end of its life, but it could live on for a long time. And if you look at the amazing, interesting trunk, you might have burrs on there which are caused by perhaps damage to the trunk, and it's like a protective bandage around it so it can survive. So we're going to end here at this lovely ancient black poplar.